It's a pleasure to be on the GJW Direct stand today and talking about the collaboration between GJW Direct and the RNLI, who are working together and making sure that they can prevent drowning. And the message is all about safety at sea. There are real parallels between the two organisations. The RNLI was founded in 1824, and just 2 years later GJW Direct, which was Groves, John and Westrup, back in 1826 was founded. So these are two organisations with a huge amount of history, and this campaign is about making sure that when people go to sea, the equipment that they are taking with them is actually going to keep them safe. It is massively disturbing that when people go to sea, they are wearing their life jackets, and they might look absolutely fine from the outside, but they have not been serviced. And there are huge instances of when people fall into the water, and they've got no intention of falling into the water, but when they do, and the life jacket simply doesn't work. And personally, I've been an offshore member of the RNLI for 20 years. I've insured my boat through GJW Direct for 8 years, and it's two organisations that everybody knows and everybody trusts. So to see them working together in this way is fantastic. Now, we've got today here Brian Robson, the Community Safety Manager at the RNLI, Jez Entwistle from GJW Direct, and also Rob Archibald, known as Archie, who is on the Selsey Lifeboat. And first of all, I'd actually like to start with you, Archie. Recently, I understand you were up on the Thames, and there was an instance where there was a drowning on a rowing boat, yeah. And you went and checked some of the life jackets. What actually happened there?
Yeah, it was say recently, maybe a year ago. Rowing coach fell off what they call Tim Fish, which is their safety boat. Unfortunately, his life jacket didn't go off. Cold water, and the end result was he didn't survive. After that, the community lifesaving team, they went around all the rowing clubs in the upper reaches, which would be sort of from Putney up to Kew Bridge, and they found a 95% fail rate in all their life jackets. And that was just, they didn't really think about it. They always wore them, so it wasn't, they weren't flouting any rules. They just hadn't got everything up to spec on all their safety equipment. So now they've got everything up to speed. They're getting stuff checked every year, which will hopefully make a massive difference.
And it is a case of people just for whatever reason not checking their safety equipment, and be that apathy, be that complacency. And this is the message I think both the RNLI and GJW Direct want to get out to people. And previously, Jez, the RNLI, people might have just looked upon the organisation as the organisation that goes out and solves things when things go wrong. Is this really the point where you're working with them to get the message of, okay, when things do go wrong, give yourselves more time by having the correct safety equipment in place?
Yeah, absolutely, Mark. And if it's a case of us being able to help these guys save just one life, then as far as we're concerned, that's job done. Because not only does that one life get affected, you might be a father, a mother, a sister, a brother, a work colleague. Hundreds of people's lives are affected. And when we heard about the campaign that these guys are running, it was really close to my heart as a sailor. Many of our staff at GJW are sailors, and they are. And it's really important to us to work with these guys, not only with the work that people like Archie do on the water in the boats, but beforehand for the preventative stuff that Brian's doing as well.
And Brian, GJW Direct, a company with a huge amount of heritage, what was the appeal for you to work in conjunction with them?
Absolutely, in terms of the heritage. I think there are 2 years between our original birthdays, so that the history is there. For most people, they still see the RNLI as the rallying point when everything has gone wrong. Over the last 5 years, we've really recognised the fact that if you can actually go upstream a little bit and stop the accident from happening in the first place, because invariably these incidents are something that nobody particularly planned for. If you can get that balance right, then certainly that's a lot better than having to really put our boats on the water, and most importantly of all, every time we do launch a boat, we put our crews at risk as well. So yes, it's about the public, but it's also about keeping our crews much safer.
And Jez, in many other areas of life, we've seen the safety message get much better. Cycling, for example, when we were young, helmets weren't worn at all, but now everybody would go out in a helmet. It's just standard practice. Do you think that boating and sailing has a bit of catching up to do in this area?
Yeah, for sure, because I think these guys, I'm sure, will back me up. Most of the time we all go to sea thinking that nothing's going to happen because we're an expert, or we've been at sea for years, or we're particular commercial people. They don't think anything's ever going to happen to them. But it's that one incident that it does happen. You wouldn't go out on your push bike with your helmet hung on the back of your saddle. So why do you have your life jacket downstairs in the cabin or under the seat? And that's the message. We hope we can work with these guys to get out there and have more people wearing a life jacket. Actually, so it becomes cool to wear one, as it does on the ski slopes or as it does on the push bike, like I said, Mark.
And Brian, with life jackets nowadays, they're incredibly comfortable. They're ergonomic. What is it, do you think, that is preventing people from actually putting them on when they're at sea?
I think if we look at the history of safety, we do get a bad press in terms of the fact that we're seen as almost the safety police. That's the last thing that the RNLI would ever want to do. We're there to make sure people have a really good time, enjoy the water. But the issue that we've really got is the fact that there is a safe way of doing that. And I think if you draw the same characteristics out of where we were with seatbelts 40 years ago, there was a seatbelt in a car, we didn't necessarily wear it. And I know we had to go to legislation to change that. Equally, if you have a bike helmet, you're going to put it on your head. If the strap's broken, you're going to get it fixed, because it's no good unless you're actually wearing it and it's going to do the job it does. So you can guarantee in a conversation with any boaties or anybody who gets on a boat, they'll either be for or they'll be against. It's our job now to raise that profile, and certainly working in close proximity to each other, particularly with the database that we can draw upon and the knowledge which GJW will bring along to this, we can really start to make an inroad into changing that behaviour and changing people's opinions. The last thing that we want to be doing is coming along as big brother, big sister, saying we really want you to do this, but we've got the evidence there and we know it can make a huge difference.
I recently did my RYA Powerboat 2 course, and the first thing the instructor did was look around all our life jackets, open them up, check that they were in good working order, check the cylinder was up to date, and I'm pleased to say mine was fine and I was in date. But one of the other people on the course, as soon as it was opened up, the cylinder was just a lump of rust. It was completely corroded. And one of the things the RNLI are doing, and the collaboration is supporting, is you have 400 community support officers who can actually help people take a look at their kit. And what exactly do they do when they talk to people?
The staggering statistic there is the fact that from our volunteer base that we've got there, obviously they send returns into us, and we find that at least 30% of the jackets, not just the one out of a group that you were in, you were lucky if you were the only one or the other person was the only one who had a jacket that didn't work, 30% of the jackets that we look at, they're just not fit for purpose. They'll be rusty, the cylinder will be rusty. On occasions we've had jackets that have gone off. There's literally nothing in the container. They've just made the jacket back up, put it back on as though it was going to save their lives. So I think the message in there and the bit that we need to get across to be able to support our people out there is come along. We're very much non-judgmental. Archie will tell you whoever we rescue, we're not bothered who they are. It goes from that end of the business to my end of the business, where we're not there to pass judgment, we're just there to keep you safe. We'll check the quality of jacket, we'll check the age. We'll check also, if you have a look on the stand down there, we've got the various types of jacket down there which are best fit for purpose. And you're absolutely right, there's something there for everybody now, from commercial fishermen all the way through to that person who wants to get from dry land into their boat safely and back in.
And Jez, GJW Direct, this isn't just a case of collaboration. You have taken a big step by launching the My Boat portal, and on that people can actually have alerts according to when things need to be done on their boat and when things need servicing. Can you tell me a bit about that, please?
Yeah, it's a brand new product that we've launched. It's a website where you can go and record information about your boat. A lot of us, we're used to our car having everything done for us at the dealership, whereas a boat could have completely different equipment. It could be one boat could have one brand of chart plotter, the other could have a different one. But in this case, obviously things like life jackets and life rafts, flares for example, we can record on there the expiry date or the service date of those items, and it'll give you an alert. We've all got a lot of things to remember in this current life cycle, and things like safety information is probably at the back of our minds. So yeah, My Boat will do all that for you, log the dates in there, and it can send you an alert, and also link you into some key partners who can help you buy the new flares or have your life raft serviced at special prices as well. So everybody's a winner.
So GJW Direct really taking an innovative approach to reinforcing safety and making it easier for your customers and for the boating public.
That's exactly the aim we went for, and hopefully we can make owning a boat easier. Then it'll make more people own boats, it'll make more people use their boats, and ultimately hopefully make sailing and boating a safer pastime generally. So that's our aim.
And Archie, when you're going out on a rescue, I'm presuming the vast majority of people, they've gone out and they had no intention of going in the water, they had no intention of being rescued. Do you find a huge amount of surprise from the people when you bring them back ashore, and do they then, only at that point they start thinking about their safety, and is this hopefully preventative?
Quite often we do the rescue and we come back, and while we're on the passage back we'll say to them, you've got a life jacket in your cabin, can you put it on? I didn't think of that. So they didn't have it on when they left, then something's happened on the boat, and they're not thinking of the life, they're trying to fix the problem or call for help, and they don't think about the life jacket that's sitting in the wheelhouse. So if